These boxes of faded old pictures and films show a bygone Cuba. Frolicking at a beach, dapper-looking men with equally elegant women. Many were Americans who owned property on the island nation. They fled when Castro took over. The communist government seized most of their holdings and wealth, like that of the gray-haired man in most of these pictures.
This is my father, with Edward R. Murrow.
He's Carolyn Chester's father, Edmund.
So I always heard about everything that they lost in Cuba.
Edmund Chester was an Associated Press reporter, later a CBS News executive who worked with Edward R. Murrow. After that, he was a speechwriter and advisor for the dictator before Castro, Fulgencio Batista. He and his wife Anna made a life and a family on the Isle of Pines off Cuba. They had a farm and shares in the Cuban telephone company. Altogether, property worth $500,000. A visit to the island present day shows little has changed. American names fill the headstones at this cemetery, although it and most of the infrastructure lies in ruin.
All of our stuff was taken. I didn't have a bounce back from that. I mean, honest to goodness, we were ripped off.
Her parents often spoke of what they lost after the family moved to Florida.
So I never heard anything really great about Castro. It was always kind of like, I knew he was the bad guy.
A marriage brought Carolyn Chester to Omaha, Nebraska, where she keeps those memories as well as her family's old stock certificates.
Edmund A. Chester and Anna Rogers Chester.
Coincidentally, she works for the same university which won a contract from the U.S. government to study who's holding those property claims. Almost 6,000 American citizens and companies have federally registered claims.
Or how do we address the problem with the claims, right?
Creighton political science professor Rick Whitmer has pored over crates of documents, each identifying homes, shares, real estate, and equipment.
Each of the claimants has a story. This was somebody's life for many of these small claimants.
In today's money, communist Cuba took about $7 billion worth of American property.
Some of them may have been residences before. They may not be residences anymore.
And Creighton's law school faculty have proposed mechanisms for settling those claims if a deal is reached to lift trade sanctions.
When that happens, we're looking at the largest bankruptcy of the 21st century 90 miles off our shore.
Though law professor Michael Kelly says Cuba is broke, so getting fair value for claims may be next to impossible.
It could be as little as pennies on the dollar, depending on what it is, or it could be almost the full amount.
Carolyn Chester knows she has an uphill fight.
I just want a little something that I can have for my son, you know, something that I can have in the bank to help me fix my crooked steps.
She says wealthy investors have contacted her, offering her a fraction of the price for her family's claim.
I'm a family that was affected permanently. This is personal to me.
So she's not selling anything yet.
Why would I give someone a pass, someone that's wronged me?
Chester says Cuba stole her family's property and history. She's not ready to bury the past. John Moan, Associated Press, Omaha, Nebraska.